So the Baltimore Ravens just wrapped up their 10th day of training camp practice. And we literally have NFL football tonight with the preseason kicking off. We got 8 days till the Ravens strap up their first preseason game versus the Eagles. 35 days until the regular season NFL opener against the Kansas City Chiefs. We got our top highlights, takeaways from training camp today, the play of the day, injuries, and we have a sneaky sleeper that keeps showing up and making plays on the defense. We got all that and much more. So welcome in to another episode of Ravens Reports. It's your guy Noah here with For the Flock. As always, bringing y'all our top 5 news reports and storylines coming out of our Ravens today. If you guys haven't already, we're about 50 subscribers away from 41,000. So do yourself a favor. If you like football, if you like the Ravens, hit that subscribe and notification bell so we can keep you up to date on everything Baltimore Ravens all season long. And go ahead and leave the video a like if you've been enjoying these episodes of Ravens Reports. Let's dive in. At number 1, the play of the day came from the third-year absolute stud, all-pro, first-team all-pro safety, Kyle Hamilton, who the NFL just completely let fall into the Ravens' lap at pick number 14. The Ravens never pick in the front half of the draft because they're always, in the playoffs. They're always picking in the 20s and beyond. But the one year that the Ravens had that Lamar Jackson injury, Tyler Huntley started a bunch of games, and they ended up getting a high draft pick. Top 16, top half of the draft, number 14 overall, and the NFL just messed up, letting the Ravens pluck Kyle Hamilton, this absolute stud, from the rest of the NFL. Today, Lamar Jackson finds Mark Andrews, as we're very accustomed to seeing. Kyle Hamilton was not having any of it. He hits the ball before Mark Andrews goes to the ground, and then Mark Andrews is juggling it as he hits the ground. It goes into Kyle Hamilton's chest, and he intercepts the ball. Don't forget the expectation that was set by our defensive coordinator, Zachary Orr, is for Kyle Hamilton to win a Defensive Player of the Year, being literally the best defender in the National Football League out of 32 teams. That was the expectation set by his defensive coordinator, Zach Orr. The talent's there, the work ethic's there. He's going to make a whole lot of plays for Baltimore this year, and I'm here for it. At number 2, we got an update on the offensive line. Roger Rosengarten, who's been relatively quiet throughout training camp. I haven't heard a lot about him looking good or bad, and we talked about this a few days ago, but we got an update today. He got an extended look with the first-string offensive line today and held up pretty well. John Harbaugh said that the rookie has been steadily improving. He also said the same thing about left guard Andrew Voorhees, who has the inside track to be the starting left guard this year. After essentially a redshirt season last year where the Ravens drafted him because of that ACL tear that happened during the combine, where he still, after tearing the ACL, went and knocked out a ton of reps on the bench press. He got to sit back and learn throughout the season last year. He got to watch tape. He got to be coached still by, his position coaches, and he got to work, get stronger. And it's reported that Roger Rosengarten and Andrew Voorhees have elevated their game with the pads coming on. They're both steadily improving, according to John Harbaugh. And here's what Andrew Voorhees had to say about his development last year and his gratitude for Baltimore giving him a chance.
It was an investment for sure, right? Just not knowing with my injury and it being so late in the process, in reference to the whole draft process. So yeah, it was beyond grateful when I got the call from Mr. DaCosta and the Baltimore Ravens decided to select me as one of their choices. Again, they poured into me all last year, and I gave them everything I had, and just felt like the foundation that I built for myself and just the belief and the work ethic I had with everyone on staff in our weight room, in our training room, and even our position coaches and stuff, just felt like it all has paid dividends, and I'm forever indebted and grateful to this organization for believing in me and giving me a shot, given my circumstances.
Ben, at number 3, a little bit of an injury update on the offensive line, and another injury update. We got Rashad Bateman back out. He was limited yesterday, missed the day before due to a soft tissue thing. I think he got hit in the ribs on a shot. Today he was a full go and was back out there in practice. The chemistry between him and Lamar Jackson is reportedly still a little bit off and needs some work. Brandon Stevens had some tight coverage whenever Lamar Jackson threw a deep ball to him. Rashad Bateman was unable to bring it in, and apparently the deep passing game was not on point today as it was yesterday. Another injury here with Ben Cleveland leaving practice early. His head got hit and he had to leave practice, looking like a concussion type of situation. At number 4, we're going to talk about our sleeper guy here, and Jalen Armour-Davis, because all he's done throughout OTAs, starting early in the offseason, and throughout training camp, is consistently be tight in coverage and get his hands on footballs with interceptions and pass deflections. The Ravens really like this prospect, the 4th-round pick coming out of Alabama. He looks good in practice, then got hurt his rookie season, and he's been battling injuries up and down ever since. This year, he's healthy, he's been very sticky in coverage, and continually is around the football making plays. Jeff Sareback reports that Armour-Davis had another strong practice, forcing several incompletions and getting his hands on a few footballs. He's probably improved his stock over the past 10 days more than any other player on the roster. Talk about someone who was a fringe roster type of guy, might not even make the team because of 2 rookies brought in this year, and TJ Tampa and Nate Wiggins. So you got Nate Wiggins, TJ Tampa, you got Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Stevens, Arthur Millette, or Darius Washington, and suddenly this corner room is looking really, really full, and there's guys, talented guys, recent draft picks that may not make the roster. You also got Pepe Williams in the shuffle here. But Armour-Davis is making his case known to be a guy that deserves some reps on the football field. I think preseason will also go a long way for Armour-Davis and these other corners that are battling for that roster spot. Don't forget about Jalen Armour-Davis and the talent that he does have. He's got 4.3 type speed. He's got size, he's got physicality, and now he's healthy and he's making plays on the football field. I love to hear this because the depth in this cornerback room and in the secondary as a whole is just absolutely incredible. If a guy goes down with injury, there's guys that are just waiting in the wings to come in and get some play time that are ready for it. We also got the rookie safety, Sanusi Kane. I think he was a 7th-round pick, a late-round pick for the Ravens this year. Had a great practice. He's been looking better and better, more comfortable. He nabbed an interception and had a pass breakup or 2, and think he's really settling in, according to Kyle Phoenix. At number 5, another guy whose name continues to show up is Tylan Wallace. Tylan Wallace had the offensive play of the day, who caught a pass from Lamar Jackson while being converged on by Marcus Williams and Jalen Armour-Davis. Williams and Armour-Davis collided as Wallace caught the ball and headed it into the end zone. So Tylan Wallace keeps making catches and plays from Lamar Jackson. He had that long touchdown pass on that deep crosser that we saw just a few days ago. The back part of this wide receiver competition is going to be tough as well, because Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar, and Devontae Walker are making the roster. Then you got guys like, Sean Ryan, Tylan Wallace, Dayton Wade, and the converted quarterback in Malik Cunningham. I'm really eager to see who the final, guys on this wide receiver room, who makes it. Are they going to keep 6? Are they going to keep 7? Same thing with the cornerback room. The preseason that, opening up and just a few days here will really determine, who makes these final spots. As always, if you enjoyed today's content, make sure to leave the video a like. It really helps out the channel. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And let me know in the comment section below your biggest sleepers for a possibility to make this roster this year. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
When he wasn't looking, he ran me over.